What's going on, y'all? It's JD Piquel. Today on CFB with JD, we're doing CFP with JD, telling you what the new college football playoff rankings should look like. Welcome into CFB with JD, the people's channel for all things college football content on YouTube. I get to have this mic. Don't know how that happened. Armstrong, Sims, Jack McKenzie, they make the show happen, and y'all get to drive it, so thank you in advance for that. Listen, it's Thanksgiving. You got stuff to do. We got things to do. I know Armstrong, Sims, Jack McKenzie, they definitely have things to do, so we're not waiting for the college football playoff to take their sweet time and figure out their rankings. We're going to go ahead and tell you our rankings and what they should look like when these things come out tomorrow night. So listen, first and foremost, it's going to be Georgia, okay? We already know that. This isn't a secret. If they don't have Georgia in there, someone check their temperature and someone make sure they get medical assistance immediately, because Georgia is absolutely splattering every single team they play right now. They ran through Charleston Southern 56-7. I don't think they have their best quarterback playing. That's just my opinion. Kirby Smart knows a lot more than me. He's done a lot more football analysis than me. But I'm telling you, you got the wrong quarterback playing, so do whatever you want. They're playing Alabama in the SEC title game. That's going to happen. That's officially locked in, signed, sealed, delivered. That is a potential stumbling block for Georgia. But listen, even if they lose to Alabama in that game, they're still going to be a one-loss team that finds their way into the college football playoff and be a gift to Alabama. So at number 2, up a spot from last week, we have the Ohio State Buckeyes. And this really isn't even a conversation. You know how I said Georgia, they beat Charleston Southern 56-7? You say, wow, it's really great. Georgia took care of business. Ohio State beat Michigan State, the number 7 ranked team in the country, 56-7. So Georgia against Charleston Southern had the same score Ohio State did for one of the top 10 teams in the country. Worth saying. CJ Stroud, the new Heisman favorite in Las Vegas, well-deserved. The kid's absolutely balling. They have the game this weekend. If you don't know what the game is, read a book, find the internet, something along those lines. But they play Michigan this weekend for all the marbles. Everyone and their mother that has a credential will be there. We will not, because our mom doesn't have a credential, but we watch it on TV. So Ohio State, number 2, anticipate them to keep on rolling. This will essentially be for the Big Ten. They'll play Wisconsin this week after. The winner of that game will. Don't anticipate too much excitement. Ohio State at number 2, deservedly so. At number 3, down a spot. I know all you Alabama fans are going to be upset. Down a spot. I know y'all love your football and you have a great accent, but Alabama right now, not so much because of their performance. They beat a solid Arkansas team who was ranked. Ohio State just put on too much of a show. So I'm not knocking you, Alabama. I'm just respecting what Ohio State did. So Alabama, very dominant in a lot of factors, in a lot of ways. Where they don't look dominant is the secondary. They look shaky. They allowed a lot of deep pass plays they don't typically allow. Nick Saban coach teams don't typically allow. Also, look at the offensive line. They typically, again, Alabama teams, lots of great offensive line play. This year, not so much. They're one of the worst teams in the country in terms of allowing their quarterback to be sacked. Now, thank goodness for them, Bryce Young is lightning in a bottle. He's Houdini at nighttime. That sounded a little bit weird. They're going to be able to continue to roll and going to be able to allow him to be successful offensively, but they have issues on the offensive line. So Alabama's number 3 for us, not because of what they did, but because of what Ohio State did. Number 4, the final spot. We've been saying this for a minute now. The committee has met their match, their worst nightmare, the Cincinnati Bearcats. They're going to be number 4 tomorrow night, and I can almost guarantee that if they're not number 4 tomorrow night, we will riot. All 3 of us in the studio, we will riot. We will storm down there to, where is it, Irving? Grapevine. I don't know where it is. We'll find where it is. We'll riot if they're not number 4. But Cincinnati looked dominant. We've wanted them to look dominant for so long, and they got absolutely rolling against SMU. Desmond Ridder caught one, ran one, threw one. If they win next week, which Eastern Carolina is kind of sneaky, if they win next week, they'll play a ranked Houston team in the American Athletic Conference Championship. It's hard to say. But Houston, like I said, will be ranked. That is a gift to Cincinnati, because they thought SMU would be ranked when they played them. Wasn't the case. That will bolster their resume even more. I keep saying it. If Cincinnati wins out, they've now gotten the help from Oregon. Oregon has their own problems. They got some help to where they're going to be in the college football playoff. An undefeated Cincinnati team. I firmly believe that. And if not, again, everyone in the studio, all 3 of us will riot as soon as we find where to riot to. Number 5, we're rolling with the Cowboys of Oklahoma State. All right? Oklahoma State fans, if you tune into this program regularly, which if you haven't already subscribed, I encourage you to subscribe, you know I'm down on Spencer Sanders. I've been down on Spencer Sanders, but he has proven me wrong time and time and again. Got a huge win this past week against Texas Tech. Wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. Spencer Sanders, his stat line wasn't pretty, but they're taking care of the football and they're riding with their defense. That's going to be the differentiating factor for them. They have Bedlam this week. If they take care of business, they'll get Baylor the next week, assuming Baylor takes care of business. Oklahoma State, again, I firmly believe they control their own destiny. They control their own destiny if they're able to be a one-loss conference champ. So that's what we're rolling with. At number 6, for the number 6 spot in our rankings, we are going to roll with Michigan. You say, well, what about Notre Dame? Hey, wait. What about Notre Dame? They're really good. They beat Georgia Tech 55-0. They've been rolling off big wins. I understand that, but here's the stat that I want to look at very, very closely. Game control. What does that mean? It essentially just means, are you body bagging your opponent the majority of the game, or are you making it close? Michigan has a loss to a number 8 Michigan State team on the road, so it was on the road, give them that. Number 3 in the country in terms of game control. Like, Michigan is just throttling people. They did the same thing this past weekend against Maryland. It's like 59-31. They pulled a trick play on the kickoff, which was super weird, but they still did it and scored. Michigan's going to be a force to be reckoned with. If they beat Ohio State this next week in the game, they're going to have a really good shot at this thing. A one-loss Big Ten champ Michigan is in. That's all I'm saying here. These are the rankings, okay? Anybody who tells you differently is wrong, or they're on the committee. All right? And if they're on the committee, they're probably wrong anyway. So again, Georgia at 1, Ohio State at 2, Alabama at 3, Cincinnati, committee's worst nightmare at 4, Oklahoma State at 5, Michigan at 6. That's all she wrote, folks. CFP with JD. Tune in every single week as we tell you where the committee went wrong and set them straight as we tell you the right rankings. That's it for us here. It's CFP with JD. Keep the party rolling. We will see y'all next time.